Hi everyone, I'm Mojgan. I am the creator of student-led projects on Ocean Literacy 2024. I really hope you have already read the document. It is a very interesting document which contains some very useful data on ocean literacy. And today in this video, I am going to be giving anyone who is curious or who is going to come up with the same thing probably, some personal tips and the processes and the steps that I had to take to create the final document. And not to forget, I'll probably also give you a small presentation of myself as well. Actually, let's start with the presentation. As I said, my name is Mojgan. If it may seem a little bit weird for you and you have not heard it before, it's normal because it's a Persian name. I'm originally Iranian, but I came to Italy 3 years ago to study business and management in the University of Turin. During the third year of my studies, I had the pleasure to meet my amazing professor and my current mentor, Professor Margherita Poto, during the lectures of administrative law. Now, the whole document that I have created is basically a summary of the most creative projects presented by the students of administrative law. But the document also contains the most creative projects of Italian students of administrative law course as well. I think that was somehow the challenging part of the document because I had to thoroughly translate them and I had to make sure that everything that they have done was not underestimated as well. And for that, I had to send email to every creator of the project, the Italian students, obviously. I had to ask them if they liked the final version or if what I had translated was fully representing their work. As well as that, I had to ask some comments from my Italian friends to see if they could really understand or if they could really get the value of the job that has been done. That is a small tip I really want to emphasize for anyone who may in the future work on a document that may not be in the language that he or she understands. Try not to go copy paste on the Google Translate and that's it. It underestimates the work which had been done. You can imagine that these groups that have created the essays, these projects, these presentations basically during the class had put hours and hours creating what they have done, and just copy paste that from Google Translate would really be an underestimation, as I said, an understatement. So try to involve the people who had created these projects. So keep that in mind. So let's go through the whole document very quickly, as I hope you had already read it before. But before I start, I really want to thank my amazing mentors, Margherita, Poto, and Vita. You have been so helpful and so patient with me, and thank you, really. So let's go on. Here you can see my little agenda. So as the agenda suggests, we had two different tasks, two different assignments. As it's mentioned here, the first assignment involved crafting projects or presentations inspired by the themes explored in the book Follow Your Heart. And the second one was we were supposed to basically create creative projects centered on ocean literacy within the framework of the Agenda 2030. Part 1, starting by 5 most creative projects. These were collected from the projects of both English and Italian students of administrative law. Some of them have been originally in English and some of them had been translated. So here is basically the overview, the core message, the conclusion, everything, the relevant pictures. So like here are the cookies that the students had made, or here is like the art craft somehow that was done during the class. And that is basically the format of part 1. This is actually me. This is also my group. Part 2 is a bit longer as it contains 10 of the most creative projects of both English and Italian students. So the way these projects are presented is that there are the names and the title and everything, but these ones right here that you would see are the one pager, the banners, basically the presentation of the whole project in only one picture. Actually, all of the groups were supposed to come up with a banner as beautiful and as creative like that. Here's another one which is more simple. There are ones which are like this one. You can see how beautiful it is. It shows the message of the project in one picture, more or less. And furthermore, there are also like this in Rete. They also have an Instagram page and going on. Oh, here is actually the pictures which were taken of the students and their presentation during the class. They actually baked a very beautiful cake, 2 cakes actually. And that is all. That is everything, the format and the explanation of the document. Very quickly, here is the conclusion, and also if anyone needs to contact me, here's my email. So here basically I have 2 different Word documents, one of which is for summarizing the projects which were done on Follow Your Heart, and here is for the projects which were done on the ocean literacy basically. So the first assignment and the second assignment. To start here, I had written some questions for myself that every time I was supposed to read different essays or presentations or group works, I wanted these questions to be answered, like what was the focus of the project, what were the results, what did they do, the conclusion and everything. Also, one of my dear mentors gave me this format so that the different projects, like the move from one project to the next one, would be somehow clear, just an outlet to organize everything. And like this is actually what I tried to do. As you've seen, I was supposed to put project title and then project participants, project cover, pictures of the project, and link to the other sources. So here, this is like something that I wrote basically for the abstract, which then I had made even further shorter. And here, this is the other outlay that my other dear mentor, Professor Margherita Poto, has given me. You can see I was supposed to focus on these ones, not in the word of Posidania, if I'm not wrong. The day has come, Shinat. I'm afraid I'm very bad at pronouncing foreign words, in rete and everything. So here, this is, for example, the first project. I've put everything here so that like when I want to put everything in the final PowerPoint format, everything would be like clear. So here, like, this is like everything following the outlay that the outlay that dear Laura has given me. As I mentioned earlier, the pictures that I have taken from the essays you see here, for example, the cover of our presentation slide, this is like literally what the students have mentioned in their essays, the names and everything. And then here I had gone through the whole essay and I had made these notes, let's say, but these ones were somehow further edited later when I tried to put them in the PowerPoint, just because when I was going through them for the second or third or fourth time, I just thought that there are some points which can be basically edited. The same format for project 2, Inspired. You can see here, like I was like going through everything and reading and writing. So this is everything. I also, here, for example, these are the notes that I should have considered when I was trying to prepare the PowerPoint later. For example, take pictures of the first 2 pages of their story. Add other pics of the story too. Like just some things to be kept in mind. And here, for example, this is actually my own group. This is the summary I did on my own group, which I actually knew very well. And the pictures, the notes I took and everything. Now I want to show you how, let's go to this one, student projects. This one is the full essay, because every project eventually was supposed to come up with a full essay explaining what was done, explaining the presentation which they have done during the class. Like, I suggest anyone who's going to do a similar job to put a lot of time, maybe 70% of the time that they have on reading, 30%, which the rest of the 30%, I think. Sorry, English isn't my first language. To design and everything, but really what matters here, in my opinion, is reading, as I said, not to understate or underestimate any work. So you would go through these. You can also highlight things here if you want to like come back to them later. And that's it for now, I guess. That's like an overview of what I did in a very, very general manner. Also, I had the same file for the SDG, which was for the part 2 second assignment. Same questions I was supposed to cover, same things that dear Laura has put for me to cover and to somehow follow. Actually, here also I did the same things, like not like the name of the present, the things which could be eliminated further, I have just made them red to show myself that if you want later you can like just delete it. And then again, for example, here I wrote translate the cover in English. This note is for myself. Everything in yellow is just to be then further investigated, let's say. So I was supposed to, here I prepared the text and everything, and then eventually when I wanted to work on the PowerPoint, I went and further translated their cover. And these are also the pictures that I've put here to be all ready. Again, everything, the notes I took from the project. The pictures here were like, these ones were basically copy paste, but then later again I translated them and I made them summarized because I couldn't put all these explanations for a single photo. So I guess that's it. Really, I have to say again that most of what my job concerned was reading. So much reading, because as you can see here, like all of these are summary of the presentations of the essays. Like essays were up to 20-30 pages long, but then I was supposed to read them to come up with a full representation of everything which was done during the work. So again, thank you so much. I really hope I could help anyone who may be interested to do the same thing. Again, I mentioned that my email is here, so if anyone needs to contact me or ask any question or information, as I said, I am always available. And that's it for now. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys great luck with any work that you have to do. Thank you and bye.